What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com. I am headed back to the A-Town. I'm on 75. It's been a long week. It's been a long, long week. And I had somebody at the airport that was asking me about starting a podcast. And how do you start a podcast? And how do you make it successful? And all these different things. Honestly, just consistency. Consistency beats the race. You have to be consistent in anything that you do. You have to continue to do it, even when you don't see results, even when you don't see things coming about. You have to consistently be moving with these things, and you've got to believe in it, especially when no one else believes in it. You may sometimes, most of the time, be your biggest supporter, your biggest fan. And that's okay. I had to come to terms with being my biggest supporter. And that was just really about just being me. And believing that I was capable of making different things happen. So I'm a big person when it comes to consistency. And in all honesty, the podcast was the one thing that I had started, but I honestly did not put very much effort into it, didn't put much thought into it. It was kind of like something like I put some water on the stove to boil, and I put it on real low, and I didn't quite figure out what exactly I was going to make. And that's really just what happened, because it boiled over into something else. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even realize, because I did not have any expectations for this podcast. I really didn't. My previous podcast, the Live with Ash Beezy Breezy podcast that was all over BTR, that was a huge podcast, and that was just a big blessing for me, and really opened up the doors for me in so many different avenues. And with that, I was opened up to so many different ways and angles of dealing with media and promotions and publicity and social media and PR firms. And I loved the show, but as life was changing and things were happening in my life, and I was growing in different directions, and then certain things were happening and weren't happening here and were happening there, I kind of grew out of the show. And while it did a lot of things to help put people on other people's radar, long term for me, it was not, it wasn't something that I was going to continue to do. So when someone suggested that I start a Spreaker and I just start putting out audio shows, I was like, yeah, I kind of did that already. I don't know if I want to do that again, And they were like, no, it doesn't have to be like the same format that you did before. It could be something more personal. It could be something just for you. And I was like, I don't know, still, I'm not sold on the idea. And lo and behold, it was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And I will say, for the podcast, I didn't have any expectations for it. It was just something that I was going to try out to see what would happen. I just really, honestly, it was a trial and error type period. And I was not consistent with the podcast either. I would do it like maybe once a week, maybe once every other week. And I wasn't really keeping up on the stats. So I wasn't seeing as it was growing, as it was growing and evolving, and people were starting to download it more and more. I really and honestly was unaware of it. I was completely unaware of it. And when things started to really turn was when someone had suggested, hey, you need to apply for iHeartRadio. And I was like, what do you mean iHeartRadio? I was like, yeah, you need to apply. And I'd gotten an email from iHeartRadio about applying. And then I had seen the thing with Spreaker, because Spreaker is the platform that I use. And they were like, you can apply for iHeartRadio, blah, blah, blah. And I did, and I wasn't really paying attention to it, honestly and truthfully. I wasn't paying attention to it. I applied. Nearly a year later, they sent me an email and said that I was approved. And I was like, approved for what? Like, what are you talking about? I was approved. What was I approved for? And that's when the light bulb went off on my head. Wow, people are really listening to your shows. You need to be more consistent. You need to be able to put out good content that is quality that people are going to want to listen to on a regular basis. And so that's really what it came from. From there, I was able to apply for iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, everybody else that you see me on, and everybody else that people download the shows on. It was not an overnight success. It wasn't. I'm at nearly 500,000 streams now, but sorry. But initially when I was starting, it was not like that at all. Not in the least. And it's just a testament that you are capable of doing these things that you want to do. You're capable. Even I'll step out even more and say you're capable of doing those things that you never even dreamed of doing. Like, I never imagined that I would have a podcast that I would produce myself from my phone to carry over to thousands of other people and to continue to build it in a way that people are just like, whoa, that's out of here. I had no idea. None whatsoever. So when this turned into what it has turned into, it was absolutely mind-blowing and a blessing beyond words. Like, I can't even tell y'all. Like, I was just elated. I was absolutely elated. And it's because of people like you that listen to the shows and that download the shows, that keep me going, that keep me researching and looking up and reach out to people that are worthy of being on this program, people that are doing what they say that they're going to do, people that have heart, people that love what they're doing, people that were in impossible situations that are now living their dreams. I am showing you examples of people that are making it happen. It's not impossible. It's not. I'm showing you examples where people were in detrimental situations, and guess what? At the end of the day, they came out on top. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't that, it just kind of happened, and it's just, this is life. This is life. And it happens every single day. So you got to continue to push forward. And that's really the main preface behind this podcast, is no matter what your situation is. When my mom passed, I thought I'd cracked up. I'm not even gonna lie. I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I checked out for, I don't know, maybe a year. I just mentally, I had checked out. I was not myself. I didn't know what myself was. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so many things for so many people for so long. I didn't even know who Ashley was. But when I figured out that I needed to really decipher what I was going to do and who I was going to be to this world, that's where the beast within me was awakened. And I've not looked back yet. I've not. I've had to leave some people by the wayside, by the shore side, by the left side and the right side. And I've had to push on and push forward in a way that only I can do. Only I can do. So I don't worry about the people that say X, Y, and Z about Ash. People that say all this, that, and the third about Ash. There's people that say, I have no control over what they say. I wouldn't want that type of power. I wouldn't. I absolutely positively wouldn't. It's too exhausting. That's a heavy load. Who would want to have such a heavy load on their back? I wouldn't. I would not. So continue to push forward no matter what. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk. No one's going to be there to cheer you on. You got to cheer yourself on. That's really what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. So I love y'all. I appreciate you so very much. Continue to push forward. Continue to make progress. Even if you're making small steps, those small steps make a big difference. They make a big, colossal difference. So don't feel as though, oh, well, you're making these small steps and nothing really mattered. No, it all matters. I'm telling you, it all makes a difference. You just have to be in belief of it. You got to be in belief. You got to be in belief. You got to put in the work. And you got to have patience. Those are the main things. You got to believe. You got to do the work. And you got to be patient. Now, Donna Teresa would tell me all the time. She was like, Ash, you are not patient. You need to let things manifest. You need to let things... And I'd be like, yeah, mama, yeah, whatever. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not truly listening. You catch my drift. And with her gone now, I can see what she was trying to implant in me. I could see now, and I can understand a lot better what she was trying to convey. And the patience thing, that was probably the biggest challenge for me, because when you live in a microwave society like we've lived, you know, you kind of expect certain things to happen in a certain time frame. When they don't, you start to question and doubt things. And that's where I was. That's definitely where I was, so. All right, we got a little dark, a little deep there today. A little bit, you know, got a little dark, a little deep. But I appreciate y'all. And thank y'all for getting me to 500,000 streams worldwide. I never in a million years would have imagined that. Never. Ever. And there's so many people that told me that this podcast was stupid. It's a waste of time. It ain't going to go nowhere. It ain't going to do nothing. Well, now podcasts have picked up. I don't know if y'all know, but podcasts are pretty popular, boo-boo. They're pretty popular, all right? And mine's, yes, I said mine's. Mine's gets lots more popular, okay? Lots more popular. Lots more. Anyways, keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face and tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. Because that's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history books. Social media is nice. It's cool. It's fun. But, excuse me, why? Real life is so much better. All right? It's so much better. Until next time, you guys, be easy.